So hello guys and welcome back to Made It Links. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. If you are new on this channel is purposely dedicated for content here in Russia. So as you read the topic, this I'm going to talk about black life in Russia. Okay, so currently on blackshome.com you can see that the population of black people here in Russia has increased over the years, over 100,000 or close to 100,000. Okay, so let's start with the challenges of blacks here in Russia. Let's start to talk about the challenges first. As a black person coming to Russia the first time, the first challenge you're going to meet is going to be the language. So there is a strong language barrier because in Russia they don't speak English, right? They speak Russian. So for you to feel comfortable in the city, for you to feel comfortable in your country or in the country, that's Russia, you need to learn the Russian language. When I came to Russia the first time, it was very difficult because they speak the Russian you don't understand. Every writing is in Russian, whether it's a description on the wall or a direction, everything is in Russian. I came to a city called Maikop in Russia where blacks are few in this city. Mind you, Russia is very big. You might be in Moscow, so you won't really feel that absence of black people because there are a lot of black people in Moscow. But if you are unfortunate to be in cities or smaller cities where it's difficult to find black people, you might feel that kind of loneliness and you feeling you are just one person in, let's say, a foreigner in the midst of white people. You are the black sheep among the white people. That's how you're going to feel. So I had to learn the language. Fortunately for me, I'm a student. So when you're a student and you come to Russia, your faculty, that's the preparatory faculty for the language, they're going to teach you the Russian language. That's for about, let's say, 7 months, because it's not up to that 1 year to see, because 7 months will be for studies and the rest will be for vacation. You get it? So you come to the preparatory faculty, you learn the language. At least you learn the basics of the language. You know, you can't be in a country and you don't speak their language. That's not possible. You can't live in the country. So the first challenge as a black person in Russia has to do with the language. If we put the language aside, let's slide the language aside. Now you're good with the language. How about living in the country itself? How do the people relate to us? The point is, Russians are very closed people. This is the unfiltered truth. They are not that open. That doesn't mean they hate you. The point is, if I say Russians are not open, they are closed, it means you have to go closer to them. For them to talk to you, you have to make the first approach. So if you're a black person, you need to move to them. Because on a normal, you see a Russian, he's not smiling. She is not smiling. They don't smile on a normal. So you have to move to them, speak to them, let them know you. Because mind you, Russia didn't colonize Africa. Most of them know nothing. Most know nothing about Africa. Most don't know who Africans are. Some think Africans live on the trees. Some think Africans live in caves. You can meet a Russian and that person is going to ask you, do you have water in Africa? Do you have light in Africa? How do you eat? What do you eat? You know, these questions are very sensitive questions, okay? Because now the world is advancing. You might think, why don't they know much about Africa? The point is, Russians are now getting used to the outside world. They are now getting used to read the blacks. Because as I said earlier in the video, the population of blacks is gradually increasing. And the more black people we have in the country, the more they get to know us better. So the relation with, let's say, the relationship they have with blacks is more of a mutual level. When you go for a work, or when you go for a work interview, or you go to a city where they are already used to the black people, what happens is they are already used to the black people. They know the black people. So the kind of relationship they will have with you is going to be very pleasant because they know how black people are. They have friends who are black people. Or you meet someone who's schooled, with a black person, that person is not going to find it difficult, like having that friendship or that good vibes with you. But if you come to a city where they don't even know much about black people, this is their first time, maybe it's their first time meeting a black person, the relationship is going to be different. So that's where you have to show them who you are, who a black person is. You're not a dangerous person, you are very friendly. You have to tell them, you have to show them, you get it? So let's not put it in the context that Russians are racist in general. It depends. As I said, it depends on the city, it depends on the person you are meeting. They have different nationalities in Russia, let's say different tribes, okay? So we have typical Russians, we have people from Dagestan, we have people from Chechen, we have people from Adygea. These are all considered Russians, but the point is, in the Soviet Union times, or let's go back in the days, Russia used to capture or used to fight for lands. So when they come to your land and they want the land, they make trade with you. After making trade with you, they try to take over the place. So these people already have their language, they have their beliefs, they have their customs. So after they join the Russians, these customs and traditions are still within them. Most don't behave like how the typical Russian behave, okay? Most of them are also very closed, especially in the city where I am. This is the Adygea Republic. As you can see, there is a mosque directly over there. So the population here are Muslims. If you are a black person and you're Muslim over here in this city, it's very comfortable because they are Muslims, and you know how Muslims love their brothers Muslims. That doesn't mean they hate the Christians. No, they don't. But how a Christian is going to relate to a Christian brother will be the same way a Muslim brother is also going to relate to a Muslim brother. The friendship is going to be more tighter, okay? So moving that aside, let's talk about how you're going to live. Is the city or is the country very cheap? Is it affordable for black people or for foreigners? Okay, so this is the point. Russia, aside all the sanctions, is very cheap. Let's be honest, it's very cheap. Although things have increased, prices of goods and services have increased. Like in my city, for example, I used to take taxi for 150 rubles, but now I take taxi for 300 rubles for that same distance. 300 rubles is very cheap, trust me, if you are comparing it to other European countries. You get me? If you are in Moscow, it will be very expensive, but it's still better and worth it than in the other European countries or in the other Western countries. So for example, in my city, if you have about 10,000 rubles, you can shop groceries for a month and still be comfortable, get enough money to take your transport, get enough money to buy other accessories as well. Maybe you need to buy some books to study, maybe you need to have fun, you need to go chill. 10,000 rubles will be quite good for you if you live alone. 10,000 rubles is just like a little above $100. So let's say it's close to $110 or $120. That's very affordable. You can't have this outside Russia. Outside Russia is more expensive. You can't compare prices in America to that of Russia. So you being a black person over here, if you have a good source of income, if you're a student and you have a part-time job, you can live comfortably with just, let's say, a little over $100. Moving past that, this country is already safe. I made a video about that. Being a black person in Russia, you're not going to get any attacks. You see, currently I'm outside. I'm making a video outside. Nobody is going to stop me from making a video. No police is going to approach you. Why are you shooting a video? There is no starving of black people. There is no demonstration that blacks should go home. There is nothing of that sort. It's just peaceful. It's just peaceful as it is here in Russia. So if you're a black person, you feel safe here in Russia. Trust me. Let me talk about the student's life. For students, it's very comfortable. Ask me why. If you are a student and you're in Russia, your student visa is the same as your working visa. You can work as a student without any problem, but just that it has a limit. The limit is you only have to work during or during periods that you don't have class, during vacation or during periods you don't have class. So let's say you close class from 5 p.m. After 5 you can start work, but probably after 11 p.m. you need to close and go home to sleep, because you're not supposed to work overnight. You get me? Because if a police person is supposed to meet you 1 a.m. as a student, 1 a.m. you need to be on your bed sleeping. You don't need to be working, right? So if you're able to follow these laws, Russia is a peaceful country, trust me, for black people. So if you're a black person in Africa, anywhere, planning to come to Russia to study, just know these 3 things. You need to learn the language very well when you come over here. Without the language, you can't survive. Trust me, without the language, you can't survive. When you're in Moscow, you might not feel that push to learn the language, because most people understand English in Moscow. Most of the Russians understand English in Moscow. But if you happen to find yourself in smaller cities where people don't really understand English, you need to study the language, okay? Second has to do with the relations with the Russians, or with the white people, the Russians. Russians are very good people. Although they are closed, you have to move to them for them to get to know you better. It's the same anywhere. Even in our country, even in Africa, not everyone or not every person in your country loves you. You get it? We are all black people, but we have hate in us. How much more someone who doesn't know you at all? You're a foreigner in his country. He needs to know you more. So you need to get more to the Russians, get closer to them, and they will get to know you better. Third thing is, living condition here is very good. You can find work to do as a student. If you're not a student and you're a tourist, definitely you can't work, okay? So if you know these 3 things very well, you enjoy your stay in Russia. Catch up with me later in my next video. It's Made It Links. I'm out.